A blaze at an oil wellhead burns furiously, and it's not long before firefighters race to the scene. The flames are real, but thankfully this is all just a drill. These men are taking part in a training session to hone their skills as firefighters. The fires can be switched on and off at the flick of a switch by computer, allowing the instructor absolute control over the training sessions.
When he sees that the firefighters make mistakes, he can stop the training, he can correct the training, and he can carry on with the training. He can build the fires as large as he wants, he can make it as small as he wants, he can make it as challenging as he wants. And if he sees the firefighters are mastering this, he can push it to the next level to push the firefighters absolutely beyond the normal type of training that you've seen anywhere else in the world.
Sprawling out into the desert of northern Qatar, this training centre is one of the biggest in the world and will train firefighters, civil defence staff and members of the military from right across the Middle East. No expense has been spared here. Every doomsday scenario you can think of has lifelike model replicas for training purposes. Fires can be set in cars, trains, fighter jets and 9-storey buildings. There's even a real-size A380 aeroplane. This state-of-the-art facility took 6 years to build and cost tens of millions of dollars. But for Qatar, this is money well spent, because despite of the country's rapid development, the priority is keeping Qatar's infrastructure and its people safe. As a country develops, the nature of what and who needs protecting changes. In a few years, Qatar will host the World Cup, and a country used to protecting oil and gas installations will have to start thinking more about protecting members of the public. It's a challenge that Qatar is taking seriously.
You invest a lot of money in infrastructure and obviously in people, and the last thing you want to do is invest in infrastructure and then lose it. So it's very important for us to protect such infrastructure, sub-buildings, universities, you name it. And obviously it is the responsibility of a government, of a state, to ensure that it has the right qualified people to provide emergency response.
Recently, Qatar's safety record hit the headlines for all the wrong reasons, when a fire at a shopping mall killed 19 people. Qatar's developing phenomenally quickly, and while infrastructure has been quick to go up, the enforcement of health and safety policies has sometimes been overlooked. But there's now a feeling here that the government will get to grips with the issue.
We've had this absolute tragedy in Doha, of course, which has resonated around a very small community. And we have 2022, the World Cup, of course, in a decade or so. And so between these two events, I have little doubt that, the kind of security of public facilities and public areas will be more or less the top couple of priorities for the people that be in Qatar. And when they want to do something, when they want to move on a particular topic, they can move heaven and earth in Doha, because that's the nature of the power here.
No matter how safe you make a country, accidents will always happen, and what counts is how you react. As Qatar develops and grows, it's conscious that protecting its assets is just as important as building them in the first place.